everybody to JC Transformation Strategies. Welcome to our Sunday upliftment session. Thank you so much for joining, and also a special welcome to all the subscribers who have subscribed on JC Transformation. I appreciate all of you guys. Welcome. Just for you to be on my channel means such a blessing, and it actually motivates me to do more. And guys, on this channel, it's so informative, it's so educational, and it's also very spiritual. And you've always, if you guys know that when you watch JesC Transformation, it's life changing, that you will learn something, you will heal from something. That's how exciting it is and how blessed channel it is. And I'm just so glad to see the growth on the channel, which is such a blessing to me as well. Okay, so guys, today's message, before we jump into that, let's do the introduction. Those who have celebrated their birthdays, a very blessed birthday to you. I hope you had an amazing time. If you have lost loved ones, my deepest condolences. And if you celebrated anything, even to be where you are today, watching me, well done, congratulations. Okay, really proud of you. Okay, today, guys, we're going to be looking at a very important topic. It's going to be walking away from people who don't fill your cup. Walking away from people who don't fill your cup. Okay, so we all have a cup, okay? And the cup basically represents your heart, it represents your soul, and it represents your inner life. But the cup that has been filling, it's sometimes been filling of goodness, sometimes it's filling of negativity. But today we're going to bring that into exposure, all right? And you're going to know when it's time for you to actually walk away, when your cup is not being filled. Because remember that in communication and in lifestyle and in relationship, you cannot only have one-sided. You need to have two-sided. And if you see if it's not there, it's time to move on. Okay? But let's read the Bible verse first. Okay? So we're going to be reading from Proverbs chapter 4, verses 23. Okay, so it says, be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. Be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. And there is another exciting verse, which was Proverbs 13, verses 20. It says, keep company with the wise, and you will become wise. All right? If you make friends with stupid people, you'll be ruined. Okay, so it's basically bad company ruins good character. Now, when we look at a cup, all right, when we look at the illustration of a cup, it basically shows your heart, it shows your soul, it shows your inner life, it shows who you are. Okay, and most of us have a cup, and what happens is that our cup is either filled or it's either empty. And it's filled with goodness, it's filled with love, it's filled with patience, it's filled with purity and self-control. All right, but some of us have empty cups, and the problem is when you have that empty cup, it's very difficult for you to pour into other people. All right, if your cup is empty, so you need your cup to be filled in order for you to pour out love, to pour out support, to pour out care and energy. All right, now most of our cups are empty. All right, it's also, most of our cups are actually drained. Okay, it's drained from associating with other type of people who is not for you. It's also drained because the exposure to things. Okay, remember, everything is energy. So what happens is we watch a content which is not ready for you, like we focus so much on the negativity of the news, and then what happens, it drains you. Okay, and you can feel that your cup, which was like maybe half full, but it feels like it's depleting. It's because of your exposure to things. Also, on another hand, you may be exposed to people that you know these are energy vampires. You're not allowed to join them, but you still associate because for love. All right, and you know the truth is it's not for love, but you still associate. And what happens after that? Your cup is half, and now it feels depleted. You feel tired after that association. You feel exhausted. All right, they even visited you, but you feel way exhausted. It's because they've taken something away from you. So you offered your love, your joy, your forgiveness, and everything, and like your good energy. You offered your vibe, and after that, you feel drained. Okay, so your cup represents a lot of things, but you need to know is what are you filling your cup with? Okay, so they are basically, your cup also offers like emotional support, love, encouragement, that replenishes your energy. Replenishes means helps to recover. The best part of it is when you have other people who support and love you for who you are, they will replenish your energy. All right, they will replenish who you are, and you feel your cup is actually like filled up again. You feel that energy again. Or even like if you listen to a podcast, a really good podcast on one of the philosophies or something, and it's so motivational that you feel that your cup has been filled again. You feel that energy, that motivation, that love, that peace that you can take on anything. Okay. Now the problem is when that cup, it becomes so empty that you cannot actually offer anything. And I'm going to just show you guys an illustration of that. Okay. So with me right now, guys, I have a cup with me, right? This is an empty glass, as you guys can see. Okay. There's no water at all. Okay. There's nothing. Okay. It's empty. So this represents who you are. So we all are born like this. Okay. We are born with empty cups. Okay. So every single baby that's been born, you're born like this, empty cup. Now, what happens is that this cup gets filled in, all right, from your parents, from your grandparents, from whoever is taking care of you, right? This cup gets filled in, all right. So we have positive words here, we have negative words, we have all different beliefs, patterns, thought patterns. We even have congenitive distortions. Everything is added here. And then what happens is that it becomes a belief, okay? So I'm just going to do two illustrations. I'm going to do an illustration about a belief and then an illustration about filling your cup. All right. The basic thing that everybody talks about, filling your cup. So your belief is this cup. All right. So imagine now if your belief is also a bit distorted. Okay. That means that you have a very stereotyped belief and you don't trust people. You've been rejected so much, and the words and everything that was spoken to you, especially from loved ones, it's in your mind, but it's actually went into your subconscious thinking. So what happens is that when you're gonna offer your cup to someone else, all right, and I mean like it's a good person, a person that is healed internally, externally, and mentally, and you offer your cup, sometimes you are actually offloading your energy, your thought patterns, your generational, all right, generational thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and that goes on to someone else. All right, and that is one of the reasons why relationships don't work out, trust is broken, and everything like that. It's because we were filled in, all right, with a lot of distorted thinking, and unfortunately it came down from our parents, from our grandparents, from our aunties, our uncles, from our siblings, even from people who were close to us and we actually thought they were friends, but they were not. And sadly, that is instilled in you and that has been passed on. And if you notice that, sometimes you just can't keep good people in your life, that's the reason why. But good news, we can empty that cup. We can bring you back to how you was a baby. But it all starts with your mindset, okay? But when it comes to those type of healing, guys, you're gonna have to reach out to me personally, okay, on JesCTransformation@gmail.com, because that's more like self-healing. That's gonna be more like counseling. We're gonna look at like distorted thoughts. We're gonna look at whether if your thinking is distorted, okay, like like your thought pattern, okay, or whether your belief is distorted, because there's a difference with that. But you're gonna have to reach out to me so we can work out sessions for you to hear, okay. The Sunday messages, guys, this is an upliftment, this is a boost, this is something like a medicine for you. All right, it's a vitamin that you have to take weekly. But if you need that individual attention, because everybody has different way of growing up, okay, some were really hurted bad and some need some internal healing, like self-healing, inner child healing, then you're going to have to reach out to me in terms of counseling, and where we can use psychotherapies and stuff to help you, okay. Thank you, guys. Now the next one that we're looking at, an empty cup, as we all know. All right. Now we're gonna look at when you get a lot of people like people pleasing. All right. and you feel drained because they use up all your kindness, and people use up all your kindness, people use up all your joy, all your peace, and now your cup just gets empty. Okay, so you have nothing to offer. It's very difficult for you to offer to someone else if your cup is empty. If your cup is not filled, it's going to be very difficult for you to pour into somebody's life. Okay, you cannot pour energy from an empty cup. All right, so you need to identify as those who reciprocate with you. Okay, that means basically those that you can get along with. All right, you need to see that when you give, they also give back, because communication is a two-way street, it's not a one-way street. Okay, if they don't reciprocate, that basically means that it's a draining relationship, and it means that you give your time, you give your money, you give your energy, you give your love, you give your support, but on the other hand, there's nothing. Okay, now you need to start filling your own cup. It's your responsibility. Okay, so it's your responsibility to maintain your own well-being. All right, so this is you. It's your responsibility to maintain your own well-being. It's your responsibility to fill your own cup. It's your responsibility to add goodness, to add love, to add peace, to add joy, to add self-control, to add self-respect as well. Remember, if you're an empty cup, you cannot pour into others. You can only pour if you fill. So once you have all of this, right? Once you have all the necessities, then you can pour. Okay? So it's very, very important for you to pour. All right? We know we have to, as human nature, we have to reciprocate. We have to give to others as they give to us. Okay? Now I'm just gonna pour now. I'm just showing you an illustration, guys. Right? So this is all your love, your joy, your peace. Okay, this is actually my bottle that I use for drinking water, but I decided that I'm going to show you guys an illustration. So you need to picture this. This is basically all the good affirmations that you speak in your life. Okay, this is all the good things. Okay, so now we're out of that thought pattern of the negative words that were spoken by our parents, our grandparents, etc., and the people that we know. This is your love. This is your peace. This is your joy. This is your happiness. This is who you are. Okay? This is your self respect, your self control, your calmness, your gentleness, the beautiful side of you. This is you. Every day you speak the mantras, you speak the affirmations, and you keep adding it to your empty cup. You're getting back into your baby stage, right? And then what happens is that you keep pouring. You keep pouring it. You keep pouring. You keep pouring. And then you have a full cup. And this basically represents who you are. And now you have your goodness, you have your joy, you have your peace, you have your love, you have your self control. All right, you have all these good things. How does this come from? It's from your words, your thoughts. Remember, as we said in the beginning, the Bible even says that your thought pattern shapes who you are. So guard your thoughts, guard your heart. Out of that flows the abundance of life. How are you going to flow in the abundance of life if you don't add to your life? So there's your cup. It's full, right? And we appreciate what you spoke into your life. Remember, guys, nobody else is going to speak into your life, right? Only you can do it. So it's very important that you speak into your life. And that is why I do affirmations, I do these things, because I want you to heal, especially mentally. And then this is your cup. All right, so beautiful, so lovely, so vibrant, so much of energy. And I want you to be wise. There's your cup, guys, but I want you to be wise. Watch who you fill. All right, watch whose cups you fill in. Right, use this energy to fill good cups. All right, don't drain your energy onto people whose energy vampires, because those type of people, the energy vampires, actually they love sucking the energy out of you. So you need to make sure that you only associate with people that is actually for you. Okay, and remember, make sure that they reciprocate, meaning that when you offer it, they offer it back. All right, so remember, guys, your cup will decrease over time. Okay, but you need to keep pouring. Okay, the cup will decrease, the cup, because remember, guys, the energy is something that We give off, we take, but we need to look at, like the people that's adding to our lives so that it keeps filling. Automatically, the cup keeps filling. Like as we said that we're watching like philosophies, like let's say you're watching Zen or you're watching Buddhism or you're watching or reading the Bible. Then what happens is that you add to your life. You add and you add and you add, and then your cup keeps flowing. Okay, so fill your own cup. As I said, it's your responsibility. What happens is that when you have bad people now, let's say, right, this is your cup, and you fill it to the other people, and they don't fill anything into you. Okay, they just leave you empty. That causes resentment. Then from that resentment, you start hating, you start talking bad about the people, you start questioning like they don't value me. All right, you have a lot of global rating. That means it's distorted thoughts basically, and even the belief also gets distorted. So it's very important to remember, why does resentment come? It's because it comes from a place that you filled into cups and they haven't filled into you. Okay, so let's look at ways you can fill your cup as we wrap up. Quality time. You need to make sure that when you listen to somebody, you listen effectively, and vice versa, they listen effectively to you. Also, acts of service, like let's say you decided to cook a meal to help your partner because your partner works so hard, so you decided to spoil them a bit. Okay, that's an act of service. Or you um, decided to bless the orphanage, or you decided to help a needy place that needs assistance. All right, it depends. Or you act as a caregiver for somebody. Okay, then the third thing is that we look at affirmations, the offering genuine compliments or reminding you of your worth. So let's say somebody really give you genuine compliments of who you are, right? And they say, well done. You're such a wonderful person. They mean it from the heart now, okay? They don't mean it from attachments where they want something back. Then you know that's a good affirmation. And then you say, thank you so much. All right. Now, you will get people that will speak negative criticism, etc. But thank them. All right, just say thank you so much for your feedback. But like because remember, like you gotta be open to listening as well. So you want to give the opportunity for somebody to talk. But once you know that words don't add up to your spirit, then like I release you. I release you. So it's very, very important to know. So if anybody gives you good comments, negative comments, thank you so much for your comments. Appreciate it. Okay. So remember, guys, take care of your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health. Please exercise. Do your 20 minutes walk. Get out of sitting a lot. Okay. Even like now, I'm currently sitting, but my body is like, I need to move. I need to move. And then my watch also tells me I need to move. So it's important that you get moving, stay active. It also helps your mind. It also helps to um with energy as well. Okay. Also focus on the people who replenish your energy, not the people who drain your energy. Okay. Focus on the people who replenish. Remember what I said about replenish? Right? Replenish basically means that the people that helps you to recover from a burnout. I know for me, like I had very few people that helped me to recover from a burnout. And I always acknowledge like my counselor, my psychologist, all right, even from India, Miss Romana. Thank you so much. Like I acknowledge these people because they mean so much to me. And I will say also, guys, being on YouTube, being on JesC Transformation, and all my subscribers and those who actively engage, will take the time to watch the video, to comment, to like, you guys actually replenish me. You guys actually motivate me. Because sometimes I also go through a burnout stage, but you guys keep me moving. All right. So when I feel down or I feel like, remember, we're humans, so we have different type of feelings. All right. We're not going to be constantly happy all the time. It's impossible because you're not a robot. But when you feel like that, you have people who actually care and support. I love you so much, guys. So yeah, focus on the people who replenish your energy, not the people who drain your energy. Okay, it's very important point. So yeah, guys, take care of yourself. Remember, you are your responsibility. And if you notice that some people are not pouring into your cups, I just want to tell you that being disliked is a price of self-respect. Being disliked with family, with friends, with strangers, with whoever, even if you're a content creator, it's a price of self-respect. So well done. Even if you're being disliked, I'm like, well done. It's okay. All right. Remember, your light irritates those who have not been healed. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are being blessed. Stay tuned to JC Transformation. And please do watch on Thursday. All right. Thursday is our coaching session. It's storytelling sessions. So please do watch. It's very exciting. Thank you to all who always, watch and always like active. Appreciate you all. And Sunday is our upliftment session. And guys, if you need to reach out to me for counseling, for coaching, anything of that, if you need a help, you need a boost, you need a support system, I'm here for you. Kindly email me on jessctransformation@gmail.com. All right, book a session, guys. Please do book a session. It does get busy, but I will make the time. Okay, love you all. Stay well, stay blessed. Namaste.